A new report says increasing the capacity of the main rail routes between London and the north as an alternative to HS2 would lead to 14 years of weekend closures. The study for Network Rail is due to be published tomorrow. But in a separate development, the Prime Minister has hinted he would cancel the scheme if the Labour Party withdraws its support. Our transport correspondent Peter Plisner reports.
Remember this major disruption after engineering work on the West Coast Main Line overran back in January 2007. This work was part of the last upgrading of the line, which in itself took more than a decade to plan and complete. The report made public today talks of a huge amount of disruption, including 14 years of weekend route closures and much longer journey times for passengers. Those opposed to the scheme, many of whom live near the proposed route, maintain that the report is seriously flawed and that upgrading existing lines would bring bigger benefits to more passengers.
Is now right.
And they could be about to get their way. Senior Labour Party figures like the former Business Secretary Lord Mandelson are now turning their back on the project.
Frankly, there was too much of the argument that if everyone else has got a high-speed train, we should have one too, regardless of need, regardless of cost.
And that and other comments led to this statement from David Cameron yesterday.
Because these multi-year, multi-parliament infrastructure projects, they can't go ahead without all parties' support. You won't get the investment. You can't have the consistency.
Could high-speed rail be about to hit the buffers? Probably not at this stage, but it's possible the plans may have to be moved into the sidings.
And Peter joins us now from the proposed site of the Birmingham HS2 station. So Peter, why is the support of the Labour Party so crucial to the survival of HS2?
Well, it's as David Cameron said there, cross-party support is vital, the support of all parties in Parliament, because it spans several years and several governments. Now, we know Labour is lukewarm on it. Only a few weeks ago at the party conference, Ed Balls, the Shadow Chancellor, said there could be no blank cheques for HS2. And, of course, if Labour withdraws their support, then, of course, David Cameron can scrap the scheme and then blame Labour. And, of course, Labour will not want that to happen.
And a new business case for HS2 is being published tomorrow. But why is that necessary?
Well, the business case is vital to show the viability of the scheme. And, of course, previous business cases have simply not done that. They've been shot to pieces by those who are opposed to the scheme, and the numbers simply didn't stack up. Now, tomorrow, we're told the business case they're going to publish will be much more robust, hence the reason we've seen this research from Network Rail come out today. That will be part of the business case. The government is now going on the offensive and wants to prove the case for HS2.
And Peter, it's also due to be discussed in Parliament later this week. What's that all about?
Well, it's the third reading of what's called the paving bill, which effectively does what it says on the tin. It paves the way for HS2. There'll be more sort of authority for more expenditure on HS2 and more planning. And, of course, the publication of the business case tomorrow will help win more support. There will be a vote on the paving bill. And, of course, the HS2 is becoming an electoral liability.
OK, Peter Plisner, thanks very much indeed. And of course, we'll bring you more details of that later in the week. Now, the time, it's just coming up to 17 minutes to 7.